Deity meditation is one of the cornerstone of Tantra. You can still practice certain parts of it, but it'll not be complete. One thing to clearly remember here is that deities are seen as abstract ideas and archetypes, not as some sort of divinities sitting up in the sky listening to our futile prayers. All deities represent certain force of nature, a specific energy form. Each deity has his or her own mantra, form, and method of worship. These are necessary because only then you can connect with that specific energy. You can't just use mantra of Savitri to invoke the Norse goddess Freya. They're totally different energies. Many in Hinduism argue that since all come from the same energy source, all gods are essentially same. Well, it might be true on a very fundamental level, it's not at all true on a practical level. You may have your father's DNA, but does that mean you're literally your father? Of course not. Just like each individual is different, even though we all come from the same source, so are the deities. Each deity represents a path for the seeker. By invoking that deity, you become one with it. You don't pray to it for stuff. You become the deity, but you can't just randomly choose a deity and start worshipping it. Nor can you choose one because it has been worshipped by your forefathers. Ordinary people can do that, but as seekers, we can't. We must only invoke the gods that chooses us. To do this, you must study various cultures and keep learning about different gods. At first, you may feel just a little bit of curiosity about a deity, so you read about it more and more. Then you learn its mantra, imagery, and methods of worship. It's a continuous process. To give you an example, I've been a total atheist before I began meditation. But still, I found the Egyptian god Set interesting. The introduction was very superficial. Via a video game, I was totally irreligious, so I never gave it much thought at the time. But when I did start meditation, he was the first god that came to my mind. So I read everything I could about him, learned the occult methods of his invocation, self-initiate myself, and began practicing. Over the years, I've invoked many other deities. Oftentimes, I completely stopped Satanic invocations. But I've seen again and again, I come back to him. So when a deity chooses you, you can't just escape. If you're connected to an energy field, you cannot simply break it up. Same thing happened with another deity, Tiamat. She's known in different cultures in many different names: Leviathan, Nidhogg, Apophis, Kalsarpa, and many others. She represents chaos in its most raw form. She has been the feminine principle in my practice. So as you can see, I'm strongly attended with chaotic forces of nature. Several times I tried invoking Horus, Buddhist gods, and many other gods of order. It worked for a time, but something just didn't click. Maybe they'll work fine for others, but I cannot connect with them much. So you must figure out which deity is calling you. And you can only figure it out after working with many. So it is a long road, and not an easy one. It'll always begin as a superficial curiosity, from which it'll develop into a bond that not even death can break.